Tears of the Kingdom is a jaw-droppingly colossal game. For anyone who's still on the fence about the game, we're here to reassure you that the game is well worth its price with the sheer amount of fun content that it provides. Even after 100 hours into the game, there's still so many things to see and do. To prove it, we'll show our own progress in the game. We're 120 hours in and there's still so much to uncover. For any gamer who likes to sink their teeth into a game, play it for a long while, and focus all your attention on one game, this is the perfect game for you. Those who've managed to avoid spoilers up to now, worry not, because this will be a spoiler-free video in terms of the main story. But if you also don't want to see the endgame content, look away now. Let's start with the obvious. Shrines. After 100 hours, we've got 120 shrines, which is fairly close to the 152 shrines in total. How do you even fit another 32 shrines on this map? Having experienced a good majority of the shrines already, we can definitely say that the puzzles and challenges for the shrines this time around are fairly varied. The puzzles provide a good challenge for the all-noggin. They're also here to help you get used to and master your new abilities. While there may be a few shrines that offer similar challenges, they're well spaced out, so the likelihood of you running into shrines similar to each other in a row is quite low. Because of the more varied terrain as compared to Breath of the Wild, the paths to those shrines are also diverse, adding to the fun and challenge of looking for them in the first place. By the way, if you have trouble with some of the shrines, we suggest taking a look at GameMate walkthroughs. Links to the channel on screen and down below. Since hearts and stamina are also very closely tied to the shrines, we'll mention that aspect of the game here too. By the time you have 120 shrines, you should be able to get a full stamina gauge and at least a full first row of hearts plus a few extras. There are hearts that you'll get from story progression and side quests, so shrines alone won't be enough to get everything, however. For our Korok count, we've got 80 Korok seeds. Now that sounds like a lot, but if you compared it to the total 1,000 seeds, that's not even close to finish. That's 100 more than Breath of the Wild's total. We're not even at 10% yet. That's nuts. Now this is the challenge that's a bit more of a chore compared to the shrines. It's not just the number of seeds, but the fact that they're harder to spot as well. With shrines, it's somewhat easier to find certain shrines while airborne or atop vantage points. Notice the glimmering green stream screaming its existence to the world? That's not the case with Korok seeds. You'll have to be walking on foot most of the time to spot a good number of these Korok seed puzzles. And that sounds like it would take way more than 100 hours to accomplish. You know what wouldn't take more than 100 hours? Hitting that subscribe and like down below if you're liking it so far. In Tears of the Kingdom, you need batteries to operate something called Zonai devices that you can do pretty cool things with. You're given a full battery at the start, which is divided into 3 cells. You can further upgrade your capacity cell by cell. Each cell upgrade requires 100 crystallized charges, and these crystallized charges can be obtained at crystal refineries by exchanging Zonite, an ore that can be mined in the underground area called the Depths. Upgrading your batteries does wonders for your Ultra Hand creations, handy machines that you can put together using various Zonai devices. With a larger battery capacity, you can operate your devices for longer and put more working parts in, and that means more Ultra Hand monstrosities. You can add up to 7 more of these for a total of 8 batteries. At this point in time, we have 4 batteries plus 2 cells. So I guess we need to spend more time in the depths. Speaking of the depths, this time the map is split into 3 parts: Sky Islands, Surface, and Depths. The wide and open map of Breath of the Wild has been expanded even further to give players more to explore. We've unlocked the entirety of the map of Hyrule's Surface and Sky Islands. However, we've gotten nowhere close to unlocking all of the Depths map. In order to unlock the Depths map, you'll need to unlock 120 light routes strewn all over the area. As we said in our main review, the Depths is rife with danger and it's recommended to go in well prepared. Or else. so it's natural that you may not have explored the depths as much as you have the surface. However, it is a high-risk, high-reward kind of place, as you'll be able to get useful materials, stronger equipment, and a very handy ability if you do decide to explore it. It may be intimidating at first, but the depths is a vast and fun addition to Hyrule. There's a lot of armor in Tears of the Kingdom. A lot. 35 sets to be exact. So that includes most of Breath of the Wild's armor sets as well as a handful of original armor sets that made it to Tears of the Kingdom. They all have their own very unique look and feel as well as unique effects. And because of that, looking for and finding armor pieces is always an exciting part of the game. You'll either find armor sets in stores or during your travels. Just like in Breath of the Wild, you can upgrade armor up to 4 times at the Great Fairy Fountain. Upgrading armor is another gameplay aspect that honestly feels like a chore, since you need to walk around all over the place to gather various materials for upgrading, with some being quite rare. We've gathered 11 sets plus a few straggling armor pieces, with only one of the armor sets fully upgraded. It took a long time and a lot of patience to get all the armor sets and get them fully upgraded in Breath of the Wild. With the number of armor sets we have now, it'd take even more time and patience. At 100 hours, you would probably be carrying around some fairly strong weapons in your arsenal. With the fusion mechanic, you'd have access to a good variety of weapons of different shapes, sizes, and utility. Maybe even some that are just kinda funny. That's the kind of freedom that the game gives you, and you'd be right to take advantage of it. And most importantly, you should have the Master Sword already by this time. Or if you haven't gone through the main quest yet, you should at least have the capacity to retrieve it. Side quests weren't really a priority when we played Tears of the Kingdom, so we still have a lot left to do. Each settlement or town has its own number of side quests. We also find side quests from just wandering off the beaten path, like running into one in the middle of a forest, next to a river, in a cave, on a floating island, you name it. A good number of these sub-quests also have pretty intriguing storylines, like figuring out what these slabs in the sky with the ancient writing mean, and talking to Coco, and why these guys are naked. So you can be confident in the fact that you'll still have a lot of interesting content to do even after playing 100 hours. Honestly, with all the things going on in Hyrule, we won't blame you if you haven't done the main quest at all, even after being 100 hours in. For those who love exploring and being distracted from the main quest, this is your game. You can probably tell from our Tears of the Kingdom review video that we've already finished the main story. But, not gonna lie, if we didn't have to finish the story for the sake of the review, we'd still be wandering around doing other things. However, we do recommend finishing the Rito and Goron story quests as they will give you abilities that aid in exploration. So that's what we got done in Tears of the Kingdom after 100 hours. Now, depending on how you prioritize your gameplay, you may get more done in one category over some of the others compared to us. But still, you're bound to have a lot of the game unfinished. And so our point still stands. This game has a lot of things to do. Mind-bogglingly so. And as you saw, it's not just filler content type of things to do. Well, with the exception of Koroks seeds and gathering materials to fully upgrade your armor sets. Those I can see just being a chore to do. However, the other content definitely makes Hyrule feel more alive, with a huge variety of fun things to do. We definitely still see ourselves playing this game beyond the roughly 120 hours we've already spent on it. And if you like exploring vast game worlds and uncovering the tiny details and mysteries surrounding them like we do, we know you will too. Tears of the Kingdom is an amazing game that will keep you happily occupied for 100 hours and beyond. If you want more video game related content, sub to the channel. We've got news, reviews, and all things video games. We also have a Twitter and a website with more detailed reviews and news coverage. As always, we hope to see you in the next video.